Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to touch base on the third thing that will help your mindset improve while you're going on this healing journey. If you haven't checked out the first two, please do. They're in the first two videos up. I will leave links in the description box and you can find them there, but I encourage you to check those out first before you watch this one. Okay, let's dive into the third thing. What is it? Expectations. You're probably thinking, what? How do expectations play into things? Well, they play into a lot, because when we expect that a certain doctor or physical therapist or group is going to help us heal or fix all our problems, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. Expectations can make this journey a lot more difficult and can send your emotions into a downward spiral quickly. I'm going to give you 3 essential questions to ask in this video in managing your expectations so you can keep them at bay and not let them be a trigger that sends you down the rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. So I would encourage you to check in with yourself and think, why am I doing this? What is the intention of me seeking out whatever treatment or support you're seeking out? What are you hoping to get out of it? What type of tool are you hoping to put in your toolbox once you do this thing? Okay, so now that we've talked about this, let's dive into them. When you're looking for a treatment and you're trying to figure out, I need XYZ, right? Why are you needing it? What are you looking to gain out of it? For me, if it was, I was in a dark emotional space, I needed a therapist. She happened to do EMDR therapy. I knew nothing about EMDR therapy. But it turned out that that was a tool that worked really well for me. But all I knew was I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling anymore. And I didn't care what I had to do to get through that. I needed somebody to help me and guide me. Why was I seeking it? I didn't want to feel this way anymore. What was I hoping to do when I found it? Whatever they wanted me to do. I was open, and that will be a big thing for you too. Are you open to people helping you? Because you can seek out treatment but not be open to what they're telling you. Now, if it doesn't resonate with you or you don't feel comfortable, that's one thing. But if you're just being stubborn, or because you don't want to, do the work and say, well, I'm not going to do that, then how bad do you really want to change? How bad do you really want the help? I run into that a lot with survivors where they'll complain to me all the time, well, I don't have any therapists around me, or I don't have this. And then I give them resources and they're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pay out of pocket, or I'm not going to ask them if they have free sessions, or I'm not going to. Okay, well, that's your choice. But then you're choosing to not do it. And what that tells me is you don't really want to change that badly. I know, that can be a truth bomb that people don't like to hear, but it's the truth. So back to my therapist. I didn't care what I had to do, and I even told her that when I walked in. I said, I don't care if I have to lay on your floor and cry and bleed for the next 6 months. I just don't want to feel like this anymore. And she looked right at me and went, you're a therapist's dream. And what was my intention or my tool that I wanted to walk away from after that therapy was to know how to navigate these dark waters so I never felt this helpless and in such a dark hole again. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be sad. Doesn't mean there won't be tough times. But I now know how to navigate them. I now know tools of not allowing myself to go down that rabbit hole of deep depression and just hopelessness. Took me 1.5 years. Wasn't easy. Had to go through a lot of stuff before my TBI. It's a lot of work, a lot of vulnerability, and it got really, really messy. But I wanted to change. I didn't have any expectations going into it. I didn't know what would happen. I didn't expect her to heal me. What I was looking for was help. I wanted somebody to guide me. And I think when you're looking at these therapies, when you're looking for help, That's the essential part. You can do this. Nobody else on the planet can get you through this TBI healing journey except you. So are you being open? Are you flexible? And are you letting go of expectations of, I'm going to walk again perfectly, or I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to be able to read 30 pages right now when I can barely read 2 sentences? Doesn't mean that you won't eventually do those things. In time, you very well may. But if it's not something you're doing right now, don't create unrealistic expectations of thinking, I can barely walk a straight line, which I also had to deal with, to I'm going to be running a marathon in a week. See how we can let ourselves down? So just try to take it as baby steps and say, I don't know if this is going to work, and I don't know if this is going to help, but I'm going to try it. And that is something I repeated to myself over and over and over again. And sometimes stuff didn't help, and it didn't work. It just wasn't right for me. And that's okay. I tried it. I knew. I could check it off a list and go, that didn't work right now. Maybe that will work later, but for right now, I need something different. And this is where being your own self-advocate really helps. Having a self-care workbook, I used to write down everything. I've created a workbook, which you guys can find down in the description. You can order one, of where you can log everything and think, did this work? Because I know we can't remember things. And sometimes things didn't work, and I went back to them 3 months later, 6 months later. I don't know, when it popped up and I felt drawn and the universe kind of guided me and said, hey, try this. Or something new came in and said, hey, I'd love to offer you this free session. I would try it. What do I have to lose? If it doesn't work, I'm no worse for the wear, right? But if I don't try, I don't know. So I hope this gave you some insight to understanding that you have to be open. Lose your expectations of where you think you're going to be. I've heard many survivors say to me, it's been 5 years and this hasn't happened and I'm still dealing with this. Or it's been 13 years and I'm still dealing with this. And it's like, yes, because I don't know whoever told you that once you had a brain injury, it was just going to all go away and you were going to recover like a broken bone. That is not how this works, my friend. This is here for the rest of your life. And I'm sorry if I'm the one that has to break that to you. Doesn't mean you won't get better. Doesn't mean that things won't heal. But you are never going back to the person you once were. And that's okay. Because you have a wonderful opportunity to be somebody that you've always wanted to be and to mold yourself into that. None of us wanted this, I get it. But we're here and we have it. And so now what do we do with it? If I had to look at myself 8 years ago and you would have told me that I'd be making a YouTube channel, running a TBI survivor sport group, making courses and doing everything I was doing, I would have told you, you're effing crazy. I can't even remember the name of a pen, let alone do that. And yet here I am. And I don't regret any step of the journey. I'm just sharing with you the steps I took. And these are very broad steps. I can go more in depth for you on specifically taking these things. But you have to be willing to do it. You have to be open. You have to say, I'm worth this and I'll try it, whether it works or not. Why not? Because then you're going to get more possibilities and more opportunities to thrive in ways you never thought possible. It's just the truth. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, like I've asked, please give it a thumbs up so we can help other survivors get there. And know that you're so appreciated, and I thank you for taking this short time out of your day to even watch this video and do this for you. That says a lot, and you deserve you, and you should celebrate that you took this time out for you. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, hugs and healing.